Hello, everyone. Have you all ever done that thing where you completely forget the program you need it to open? So you just stare blankly at your computer for like 30 seconds, just going, what is it? What is it? I know it starts with a Q or an M, but my computer isn't auto completing it this time. Apologies if you hear Nettle licking me. Again, every single time I start talking, she goes nuts. And today, she would not leave the closet alone, so she's with me today. Hopefully, she doesn't eat anything. Um, so, I had a couple of different topics in mind for today because I'm trying to make myself not talk about Squid Game. I want to talk about Squid Game. I could talk about Squid Game. I'm not going to talk about Squid Game, but you should watch it. And so I thought about it for a bit, and I realized one of the things I wouldn't mind talking about is hair and self expression and how that has been tied into my identity. And sometimes when I feel like I'm losing control, well, every single time I feel like I'm losing control, I end up doing something drastic to my hair. I first noticed this when I was still in like middle school, pre four, fifth grade ish. Well, to start at the beginning, I've almost never had my hair be longer than to my shoulders. There are some pictures of me when I was really little. I was adorable, and my hair was to my shoulders. It was pulled back a little bit, so it was a little bit longer. But like after we moved to the States, I just started cutting it, and it was short. There were some cute second grade pictures with me having a little boy's cut, all that fun stuff. But I distinctly remember in sixth grade, my mom started letting me have some control over my haircuts. And sixth grade, I got the Karen haircut, but it was like before 2007. So it was before Karen was really a thing. When was I in sixth grade? Like 2005? I think, maybe. I'm trying not to just sit here and do math because I'm terrible at it. There's a reason I switched from pre med to graphic design, and that's most of it. The rest of it is organic chemistry. Um, so I just, that was my first, really had my own control. And I had mentioned in the trans video that my mom did let me have these cute short haircuts, but I never really took care of them. And she would get upset and my hair would grow back out and it would look horrible because when you have a short feminine haircut that has like a lot of choppy layers in it, it starts growing out, your hair just looks weird. My hair also does this thing where if it gets close to my shoulders, it rejects reality and starts curling back up and will not get any longer. So even my own hair doesn't want to go long. But the first time I really took control over my own hair was right after I had an extremely bad conversation with my mom post coming out. And I took a pair of fabric shears because they were, long story short, they were the only lefty scissors I could ever find. And I was working at an embroidery shop and found out that lefty scissors really change your entire fucking life, so I bought a pair for myself. And I chopped all my hair off. It was chunky, it was bad, but I looked in the mirror and I was really happy with myself. I actually have a print that sort of commemorates, highlights that moment in time of just like heavy dysphoria, cut off my own hair with those orangey red handled scissors. After that, I kind of just took my roommate's shaving kit and I shaved my head. And after that, I learned about the glory of getting to color my own hair when I didn't have to like bend to anybody's pressure. And it was fantastic. I let my hair grow back out. I like to call it my chia phase because I just let it grow out into chaos and it sort of sticks straight out if I just took a shower. And I swear I look like a chia head, but it's brown instead of green. Um, so once it was a proper length, I looked up how to dye my own hair, including bleaching. And I remember this is when I took really good care of my hair, so I would like bleach it, but I didn't bleach it that much, and then I like just left it alone for 48 hours to give it a chance to chill because that's what I read. I wore like a hat when I had to go to class so people wouldn't see me looking like someone took their frosted tips too far. Then I dyed it pink. It's where my original little character design gets their pink hair from because hell, I I like it. Like I struggled with the idea of what color to dye my hair originally. I was scared if I dyed it pink, everyone would think it was girly. And then I saw a punk dude on Tumblr and he looked awesome. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to dye my hair pink. And now I usually vacillate between pink or blue with purple in between sometimes. I don't do blue as much as I want to because I never lighten my hair enough so it doesn't take on a greenish tint. But that's just pure laziness and not wanting to go to a salon and get it properly done. And after all of that, it just became my habit of if something stressful was going on, I would do something to my hair. I would shave it, I would dye it. I would usually almost always do it myself. And it was like having a little piece of control in a time of my life when I felt like I really didn't have any. Like when I was in Illinois, I lived in my friend's parents' basement with them. That's a mouthful. And I felt like I didn't have any control. I was in a job I hated. I was losing this friend. I was losing my, at the time, fiance, now ex. I was not in school for the stuff that I loved and I had discovered I cared about. I wasn't talking to my family. So I put everything into fish tanks and hair, with my hair being the one way that I could take control of myself, and the fish tanks being kind of a fantastic distraction. And when I moved down again, and I thought I could finally get started on HRT, and my mom nipped that in the bud, despite the fact that I was a full grown adult. Yeah. When I once again started taking control of my life through my hair. It sounds like such a silly thing when I say it now, but it's a through line that I recognize because I did it then. I started giving myself a little sort of faux hawk after one of my dog groomer friends helped me with the initial styling. I would go pink or green or blue. When I started my dog grooming academy, I learned how to use the tools on me. I dyed my hair blue while I was in the hotel room. I was by myself in this hotel room because I told the people booking it that I was trans, and they decided instead of me getting to have a roommate, I was going to be by myself, which kind of was extremely lonely because I was in a city I didn't know anything about and I was completely on my own. At the time, my best friend was also really busy, so he couldn't talk to me as much, and it was a rough month. I didn't even have my dog. So I dyed my hair blue just all over. And even more recently, I've completely colored or shaved my head a few times because since COVID started, it's been rough. I'm currently in chia pet mode because I shaved my hair a couple months ago and I'm trying to let it grow out a bit. I low key want a mullet, but Briar is a little bit against it, and by a little bit against it, they're very against it, but we respect each other's bodily decisions. So if I do it, they're not going to say anything besides it looks terrible, and I would probably shave it off if they did. But yeah, it's one of those things that I've also noticed online when parents are talking, like on Am I the Asshole on Reddit, a fantastic place to read made up stories, by the way. There's a lot of back and forth on parents and grandparents fighting if a kid can get their hair cut, or a teenager coming to the Reddit being like, I want to do this. Does this make me an asshole because my parents are so against it? Just this morning, I read about a stepfather taking his recently came out as trans stepchild to a barber instead of a salon, and the bio mother getting really upset about it and saying that the stepfather was not co-parenting with her and he needed to stop being the cool parent. He's doing right by his stepson, just for the record. That makes me happy to read, because Am I the Asshole can have a lot of like turfy undertones as well as just straight up transphobic. But I am a glutton for punishment. Who? Digital self harm? Who? um, but yeah, I've noticed it a lot that hair seems to be one of the first things a lot of modern parents are letting their kids take control over within reasonable limits. Like, if they're going to get in trouble for dyeing their hair, they can't dye their hair for school, but they'll let them get a haircut that they want. Or like little boys will get to have their hair grown out long. So it's a nice thing to see that I'm not completely alone in this one, because sometimes it can feel like a you are the only person that experiences this, and then you go online and you're like, oh, there's a whole ass community about it. Cool. But those are my thoughts for the day. I have a couple plans in the works. I am actually probably going to redesign my little eyeball avatar, because after I drew the kind of sort of cosplay thing for the last episode, I am like, I actually kind of dig this look and I want to update my character for it. So tomorrow, I am hoping to either have this entire block about a print I'm doing really last minute for a print exchange down from Alabama. And it's apparently Greenpea's last print exchange going on. And I'm just like, absolute last minute. You know what? I can do something. So I filmed my sketching and carving, and hopefully it looks okay. It probably doesn't, so I'll probably just scrap the entire thing or post a little bit on the Instagram. I'm hoping to record my cutting of paper and everything tonight, but there's going to be someone else in the studio potentially, so we'll find out, because I'm a very anxious person. I'm also hoping to record my redesigning of my little eyeball character, and that will be another video. And I'll probably talk a little bit about like how I came to my little persona and all of that fun stuff. So there's some fun journaling things to look forward to. But until then, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Get hydrated. I've got to go get my drink off of the desk because I've left it over there. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.